You ever find yourself watching one of those super simple animated videos for kids and you just kind of get sucked in? It makes you wonder, right? Why is this stuff so effective? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain. We're not just listing good habits, we're actually going to deconstruct the powerful formula that makes this kind of kid friendly animation stick. Let's dig in. I mean, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? For any parent, any teacher, any creator out there. In a world full of noise, how do you actually get a message across to a young mind so that it not only clicks, but stays there? That's what we're going to figure out by looking at a pretty perfect example. So, our case study today comes from a YouTube channel called Little Ducklings Academy. They make these viral educational animations for little kids. And on the surface, yeah, it looks like just a list of good habits versus bad habits. But if you look closer, it's actually a masterclass in a simple, repetitive, and almost hypnotically effective teaching formula. And here it is. This is the heart of the whole thing. A direct, crystal clear contrast. There's no gray area, no well sometimes. It's a simple binary choice. For a developing brain that thinks in very concrete black and white terms, this is perfect. And we're going to see this exact structure again and again and again. All right, let's see this formula in action. First up, they tackle habits focused on personal hygiene and health. And as we go through these, just notice the quick, rhythmic pace. It's totally designed to keep a kid's attention locked in. First one, a total classic, brushing your teeth. Notice it doesn't get into why you should brush or the science of cavities. Nope. It's just, this is good and this is bad. That simplicity is the secret sauce here. There is absolutely no room to misunderstand it, which makes it instantly digestible. And the pattern just keeps rolling. Same exact logic, now applied to diet and health. Once again, it's a super clear choice. The animation makes eating healthy feel like the default, positive thing to do, which automatically makes the other option seem, well, obviously not the way to go. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Look how this simple formula adapts to a really modern problem. This isn't just about timeless manners. It's directly talking about the screen time battle that, let's be honest, almost every family is dealing with right now. It just goes to show you how flexible this framework really is. So after covering how to take care of yourself, the video smoothly shifts gears. Now we're talking about habits that involve other people. The focus widens from just personal responsibility to the basic social skills you need to be a part of a family and a community. This one's all about family values. The formula isn't just teaching a kid to do a chore, it's teaching big ideas like respect, responsibility, and what it means to be helpful at home. The message is pretty clear. Being part of a team means pitching in. And this is just a brilliant example of how you can teach the absolute basics of polite conversation. It doesn't get into the subtleties of tone or anything complex, it just lays it out. Politeness is the good path, rudeness is the bad one. It's foundational social learning, plain and simple. And here, we move outside the house into the real world. This is a situation every single kid is going to face, and this simple formula gives them a super easy to remember rule for how to act when they're out in public.
Okay, so we've seen what the video does, right? But the really big question is why? Why does this work so well? What is it about this simple back and forth rhythm that makes it such an incredible teaching tool for kids' animation? Let's break that down.
So now we're going to get under the hood a little bit. We're going to deconstruct the teaching method itself. And for anyone out there creating content for kids, or hey, even just trying to teach a lesson at home, these are the principles that really make it all work. So what's the recipe here? It really boils down to 4 key ingredients. First, you have that direct contrast, which just cuts right through any confusion. Then, there's the simple language, which makes it easy for even the tiniest viewers to get it. Third is positive framing, and this is a big one. It's always highlighting what you should do. And finally, repetition. That steady, predictable pattern just drills the lesson home until it sticks. This right here is so important. This is that positive framing in action. You know, behavioral science tells us it's way more effective to guide someone toward what you want them to do instead of just yelling, "Don't do that." This formula spends just as much time showing what the good choice looks like. It's not about punishment. It's about giving kids a clear, positive roadmap to follow. Okay, so what's the bottom line here? What does all this mean for you? Well, whether you're an animator, a teacher, or a parent, there are some really clear, practical takeaways from this simple little video that you can use in almost any kind of teaching. So what's the big takeaway? It's pretty simple, really. When it comes to teaching kids, clarity will always beat complexity.
You want to create a predictable rhythm because that makes learning feel safe and easy. Always lead with the positive. Show them the goal, don't just tell them what to avoid. And finally, remember that simple, direct language is your most powerful tool for making any lesson or any animation truly kid-friendly.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. You know, we're surrounded by all this complex, fast-paced, visually loud content. But maybe, just maybe, the most effective, most radical way to actually teach young minds is to strip it all back down to its simplest, clearest form.